Is it time? I can't wait to see it.
Voice of the people, stories that matter.
Oh wow! Aha!
Truth in every moment, now and forever. Across every border, across every land, we form, we empower, together we stand. From Africa to the world, connecting every voice.
CEMTV News, Truth First, You Next. Stay informed to stay empowered. Good morning. My name is Barisua Christian Wiga, and I'll be taking the news at 7, and here are the news headlines. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory official commissions the new headquarters of the body of benches in Abuja. CEMTV's correspondent interviews Port Harcourt resident to get reaction on the current cars up patrol. We will bring you details of this and more in a moment. Please stay with us.
What's on your mind today? The goal by Victor Osimhen was amazing.
The economy. Isn't that what's on everybody's mind?
I would like to see more women in positions of authority.
If you heard and saw it from CEMTV, you can take it to the bank. CEMTV, your reliable source of news, information, and entertainment.
Thanks for joining us. We begin our report from Rivers, where the Niger Delta Development Commission and the DCE has donated relief materials to the Nigeria Correctional Service Rivers State Command as part of effort to cushion the effect of the current economic hardship on inmates. Presenting the items on behalf of the NDDC Managing Director, Dr. Samuel Ogbuku, Director of Social Service, Engineer Jeremiah Orisha Jolan, said the intervention aligns with President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda and reflects the Commission's commitment to supporting vulnerable groups across the Niger Delta.
One of the interventions of transformational leadership of Dr. Samuel Ogbuku. This palliative donation, we are doing it across the state communities, pushing the effect of the economic hardship. I want to say, correctional center inmates, they are human beings. They are our brothers and sisters there. One day, some of them will come out and reintegrate into the society. It's a good thing that we come to their aid.
Orisha Jolan said the NDDC has continued to provide humanitarian assistance to communities affected by economic challenges, flooding, and environmental degradation, noting that inmates also deserve care and support as members of society. He added that the donation also recognized the important role of the Nigerian Correctional Service in maintaining peace, security, and law and order. Receiving the donation, the controller of the Nigerian Correctional Service Rivers State Command, Mr. Richard Moses Williams, thanked the NDDC for the gesture and assured that the relief materials would be distributed fairly across all custodial centers in the state. The River State SDGs coordinator, Ambassador Ipalibo Madodoye, also commended the initiative, describing it as one that supports the welfare of vulnerable groups and aligns with key sustainable development goals. In another development, petrol price in Nigeria currently range between 1,050 naira and 1,300 naira per litre, depending on the location and supplier. The recent peace agreement aimed at halting hostilities and reopening the Strait of Hormuz has contributed to a decline in global fuel prices. However, many Nigerians say the impact is yet to reflect at local filling stations. Our correspondent visited the streets of Port Harcourt to get the reactions of residents to the current cost of petrol. And Ms. Aluchiebe described the pump price of petrol as still too high, arguing that while crude oil price may fall on the international market, the prices of goods and services in Nigeria rarely decline once they have increased. She noted that rising costs have become a persistent trend in the country. Mr. Egiom Soton called on the government to introduce more effective policies to cushion the effect of poverty and ease the economic burden of average Nigerians. Still on it, other residents also voiced the satisfaction over the removal of the fuel subsidy. They maintain that the policy has brought little or no relief to low-income Nigerians who continue to grapple with high costs of transportation, electricity, and running their homes and businesses. Let's hear from them. And we move over to other news. And on the national front, human rights lawyer and senior advocate of Nigeria, San Femi Falana, has accused former Borno State Governor Ali Modu Sharif of having links to the Boko Haram insurgency, saying he expects to be sued over the allegations. Falana made the remarks while responding to a recent press briefing by Sharif, in which the former governor denied any connection to the terrorist group.
One man, because this is very important, who started the Boko Haram crisis in Borno State, a governor, one Modu Ali Sharif, addressed the press 2 days ago and attempted to insult the collective intelligence and memory of Nigerians by denying any links with the dangerous, dreaded Boko Haram sect. I did reply him yesterday, and I'm expecting him to sue me, because he said he wanted to sue an Australian. You don't need to go to Australia. What you are looking for in Sokoto is in the pocket of your Sokoto. I'm ready to join issues with him, because not only did he sponsor that organization by providing funds for them, in 2003 he had a deal with the Boko Haram sect to get. He appointed Alhaji Bugu Foyle as the Commissioner for Religious Affairs to implement Sharia in that state. When the man attended the first Executive Council meeting, he discovered that they were all talking about contracts and how to steal money. So he went back to the camp, the Boko Haram camp, and said, "Where you send me to is Gida Barawi, the house of thieves. I can no longer be part of them." So he was asked to resign, and that was how Foyle resigned from the government of Modu Sharif. So to say that you don't know them is the greatest lie. I was just reminded this morning by somebody from Borno State that something was missing in my press statement. That in 2013, 2012, October 10, Alhaji Modu Sharif was arrested in Cameroon on grounds of his Boko Haram connection. But the government here pleaded with the Cameroonian authorities to release him, because he's a big man here, he cannot be arrested. So when you are looking for the sponsors of Boko Haram, I think we now know where they are.
According to Falana, Sharif entered into an agreement with members of the sect before the 2003 governorship election, promising to rule them if elected. He further alleged that after assuming office, Sheriff appointed Alhaji Boju Foy as Commissioner for Religious Affairs, but that Foy later resigned after becoming uncomfortable with development and the government. Falana also claimed that Sheriff was arrested in Cameroon in 2012, October 10, over alleged link to Boko Haram before being released following intervention by the Nigerian government. Still on it, Falana further recalled allegation previously made by Reverend Stephen Davis, an Australian negotiator involved during the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan, who claimed that some prominent Nigerians, including Ali Modu, Sharif, financed Boko Haram. He criticized the government for failing to investigate those claims and also expressed concern over the country's security situation, stating that many Nigerian soldiers have become discouraged by the prolonged insurgency. Meanwhile, the federal government has announced plans to evacuate 270 Nigerians from South Africa as part of effort to bring back home citizens affected by ongoing xenophobic attacks and worsening security conditions. The evacuation will be carried out on special air peace flights scheduled to depart Lagos for Johannesburg on Tuesday, July 7th, and return to Nigeria, where the registered evacuees on Wednesday, July 8, 2026. Ministry of Foreign Affairs says the operation is the fourth evacuation flight under the government repatriation program. It also urged Nigerians still in South Africa to complete their documentation and take advantage of the free evacuation flight as the security situation in South Africa remains unsafe. To conclude on the national news this morning, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT Nyesom Wike, has officially commissioned the new headquarters of the body of benches in Abuja, which is the highest level legal institution responsible for admitting qualified lawyers to the Nigerian bar and ensuring discipline and professional standard within the legal profession. Still on it, the newly completed buildings in a modern facility equipped with offices, conference rooms, auditoriums, meeting halls, and other amenities that will improve the institution's daily operations. It is expected to provide a better working environment, make administrative processes more efficient, and strengthen the regulation of legal practice in Nigeria, and is one of the several infrastructural projects being inaugurated by the FCT administration during a 31-day commissioning program. According to Wike, the initiative is aimed at improving Abuja's infrastructure, enhancing public services, and creating an environment that attracts investment and supports national development. He went further to say the successful completion of the project reflects the federal government's commitment to providing quality public infrastructure for key institutions across the country. Report on African News says European Union has expanded the powers of its operation around a naval mission which allows it to stop, inspect, and detain ships suspected to be part of Russia's shadow fleet, also known as all the oil tankers, which are believed to help Russia avoid international sanctions by using false registrations and changing flags to hide their ownership and cargo. In recent inspection made, it was discovered that several tankers were illegally sailing under the Cameroonian flag using fake registrations, and Cameroon has since removed 39 ships from its registry and also said that it is working with the international authorities to stop the misuse of its flag. Several shadow fleet vessels have also been seized this year by European navies, including the French, British, Belgian, and Swedish forces. The EU is expected to introduce more sanctions later this month, targeting additional shadow fleet vessel. Officials say the measures are aimed at reducing Russia's oil revenue, which helps fund its war in Ukraine, while also improving maritime safety and reducing environmental risk posed by poorly maintained ships. Still on African news this morning, South African businesses are facing growing cybersecurity threats as artificial intelligence (AI) has become more common in the workspace. And let's go on a short break. We'll be right back.
What's on your mind today?
The goal by Victor Osimhen was amazing.
The economy, isn't that what's on everybody's mind?
I would like to see more women in positions of authority.
If you heard and saw it from CEMTV, you can take it to the bank. CEMTV, your reliable source of news, information, and entertainment.
The birthing of something new, African, Nigerian. Our vision is to become a leading and trusted television network in Africa and beyond, delivering credible news, inspiring stories, and engaging entertainment that informs, empowers, and connects communities. CEMTV, from Africa to the world.
Salem, South Africa report by cybersecurity company known as KnowBe4 discovered that nearly 2/3 of employees believe that they could be fooled by AI-generated scams, while 86% said that AI-created voice and video content is not realistic, that it is difficult to tell the difference between genuine voice and video content from AI. The report also revealed that many companies are using AI tools without proper oversight, as about 64% of organizations admitted that AI is being used without official approval or governance, thereby increasing the risk of cyber-attack. KnowBe4 has urged organizations to strengthen cybersecurity policies, improve AI governance, and provide regular employee training to help staff identify AI-related scams. The report also added that businesses with strong security cultures, where employee feels comfortable reporting mistakes, are prepared to respond to emergent cyber threats. And on the foreign scene, at least 14 people have been killed and 56 others injured after Russia launched a large-scale missile and drone attack on Kyiv, Ukraine. The strike caused heavy damage to apartment buildings and other structures across the city, with rescue teams continuing to search for people trapped under the rubble. Officials say more than 15 residential buildings were damaged or destroyed, including 9-story apartment block and the Podilsky district, where several residents were trapped. Emergency workers have been using rescue equipment to reach survivors, and authorities warn that death toll could still rise as search operations continue. Kyiv Major Vitaly Klitschko and the head of the Kyiv City Military Administration, Taimur Chakento, said the attack caused widespread destruction in several districts of the capital. Emergency services remain at the affected site, providing medical assistance and clearing debris as rescue efforts continue. Still on the foreign scene, at least 25 people, including 4 prison guards, have been killed and more than 100 others injured during 2-day violent riot at Negombo prison in western Sri Lanka. The unrest began after a fight broke out between 2 groups of inmates, reportedly linked to a dispute over drug trafficking in the prison. Some prisoners seized weapons, climbed into rooftop, and demanded to be released. It worsened when inmates tried to force their way through the prison gate, prompting security forces to intervene, and gunshots were heard inside the prison as part of the prison-proof collapse, injuring several female inmates. Many of the injured inmates were taken to nearby hospitals, with some suffering gunshot wounds while others had cuts and bruises. Sri Lanka government has launched an investigation into the incident and is transferring some inmates to other prisons, as the riot is one of the deadliest prison disturbances in the country in recent years. Still to come on the news stories are: 4 Nigerian scientists received international recognition after the United Kingdom granted them intellectual property protection. Federal government tells petroleum marketers not to keep petrol price high because they brought old fuel stock at a high cost. And we'll go on a break and we'll be right back. Just stay with us.
This is CEMTV, reliable news and entertainment.
Thanks for staying tuned. Now to the rest of the news. In health, 4 Nigerian scientists have received international recognition after the United Kingdom granted them intellectual property protection for the new medical imaging device called the Self-Calibrating Optical Imaging Photodetector, which was officially registered by the UK Intellectual Property Office in November 2025. The device is designed to improve the accuracy of optical imaging systems used in hospitals, research and laboratories, and universities. The new technology solves a common problem in medical imaging by automatically keeping the system properly calibrated during use, unlike other systems that require frequent manual and adjustment, as it has built-in self-calibration feature that helps maintain clear and accurate images, which helps in reducing human errors, improve efficiency, and provide more reliable results for medical diagnosis and scientific research. It was developed by Professor Okechukwu Felix Erondun, Onu Matthew Ijiga, Professor Tava Sombo, and Dr. Pevaga Rex Jubu, who combine their expertise in radiography physics and optical engineering. And in business this morning, federal government has told petroleum marketers not to keep petrol price high because they bought old fuel stocks on high cost. The government noted that as global crude oil prices have fallen, the newly reduced price of buying petrol should be reflected in the petrol price for Nigerians, stressing that a deregulated market should benefit consumers, not allow companies to make extra profit from old inventory. At a meeting with the Nigerian midstream and downstream petroleum regulatory authorities, fuel marketers, and other industry stakeholders, the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Henneken Lukbobiri, said fuel prices should be based on current replacement costs, not past purchase price. He acknowledged that factors such as exchange rate, transportation, and logistics also affect fuel prices, both one that keeping prices unnecessarily high increases inflation and makes transportation, food, and other goods more expensive. The government further noted that it remains committed to protecting consumers after the removal of fuel subsidy. It directed the NMDPRA to closely monitor the market and ensure that any reduction in fuel supply costs is quickly reflected in pump prices. And in sport this morning, Cape Verde national football team has received a hero's welcome in Pareal, Verde's capital, after returning from their historic FIFA World Cup debut. Thousands of fans gathered at the airport to celebrate the Blue Sharks despite their defeat by Argentina. The homecoming also considers Cape Verde's 51st Independence Day celebrations. The national football team goalkeeper Voziha thanked supporters for their love and support, saying the team had hoped to go further but was proud to celebrate with the nation. Cape Verde ranked 67th in the world before the tournament. The head coach Bobista praised his player for proving that a small nation as Cape Verde can compete with the world's best football nation and players like Lionel Messi and Cristiano Romero among as Argentina's key players, saying they had made history and given the country a reason to be proud. Another story making headlines and entertainment this morning is the popular Nigerian on-air personality and content creator Chinedu Ani Emmanuel, popularly known as Nedu Wazobia, has said his exit from the Honest Bunch podcast was due to an ownership dispute and not the controversy involving Veritach Man, as many had believed. According to Nedu, he conceived the idea of the podcast while he was still working in radio and entered into a verbal 50-50 agreement with a production company. Under the arrangement, the production team was to provide the equipment and handle editing while he focused on hosting. He admitted that relying on a gentleman's agreement without formally documentation was a mistake. Nedu said the situation escalated when the production partners informed him that they planned to suspend him from the podcast during the controversy. A subsequent search of the Corporate Affairs Commission (CAC) record, he claimed, revealed that the Honest Bunch had been registered solely under the production company's name. He said that upon discovering he had no legal ownership of the podcast, it ultimately influenced his decision to leave the show. And that is CEMTV News at 7, but before we go, let's take a look at the headlines. We also inform you that CEMTV's correspondent interviewed Port Harcourt residents to get reactions on the current cost of petrol. And in national scene, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory has officially commissioned the new headquarters of the Body of Ventures in Abuja. And in health, 4 Nigerian scientists have received international recognition after the United Kingdom granted them intellectual property protection. And in business this morning, federal government has told petroleum marketers not to keep petrol price high because they bought old fuel stock at a high cost. You have been watching CEMTV News at 7. Do ensure to follow us via our social media handle at CEMTVPLUS across X, Facebook, Threads, and Instagram. We are also available on Nicomsat channel. Do well to watch us on free-to-air. CEMTV News, truth fast, you next. Stay informed to stay empowered. I am Bariswa Christian Wigo. Thanks for staying here. Good morning.